So here we have some descriptions of functions. So we have f of x is 3x minus 7. F of g of x is 3 and then times the quantity x minus 7. So we would subtract 7 from x first and then multiply by 3. H of x is taking x, dividing it by 3, and then after that subtracting 7. K of x is taking x and then subtracting 7 first and then dividing by 3. So we have to take these and match them up. So to get the output, subtract 7 from the input, then divide by 3. So I need to subtract 7 from the input first and then divide by 3. So this is A. And then I'm going to cross it out to show that we match that. So now to get the output, again, we subtract 7 from the input and then multiply the result by 3. So we subtract 7 first and then multiply by 3. So that's B. Here, to get the output, multiply the input by 3, then subtract 7. So I multiply by 3, and then I subtract 7. So this matches letter C. So again, to get the output, divide the input by 3, then subtract 7. So here, my input, divide by 3, then subtract 7. So that is D. So we cross those out. Here, for one of the functions, when the input is 6, the output is -3. Which function is it? Explain how you know. Well, let's just plug them in. So here, I would go 3 times my input is 6, and then minus 7. So 3 times 6 is 18. And then I subtract 7. So the output here, 18 minus 7, is 11. So it's not F. So I'm going to cross that out. So here I'm going to plug in 6. So we go 3 times 6 minus 7. Parentheses, we would do 6 minus 7 because you have to do that first. 6 minus 7 is -1. So that would be 3 times -1. And 3 times -1 is -3. So that would mean G is correct also. But let's check the other ones to just see what happens if we input 6. So here I would put 6 over 3 minus 7. We divide before we subtract. So 6 divided by 3 is 2 minus 7. And then 2 minus 7 is -5. So we'll check K as well. So we have 6 minus 7 divided by -3. Again, we do 6 minus 7 first. So that would be -1 over -3, which gives us a value of 1/3. So the function is G, and we could say because, and we can just show our work that we did there for G. We can go 3 times 6 minus 7 is equal to -3. So now, which function value has the greatest input, is the greatest when the input is 0? So what about when the input is 10? So we just have to substitute that in. So if I look at F, so F of 0, we would go 3 times 0. Remember, that's our input, minus 7. So 3 times 0 is 0, minus 7 is -7. Now what I'm going to do is also plug in 10. So F of 10 would be 3 times 10 minus 7. So that would be 30 minus 7, which is 23. And then I'm going to plug in the other ones. So g of 0. So we go 3 times and then 0 minus 7. Well, 0 minus 7 is negative 7. This becomes 3 times negative 7. And 3 times negative 7 is negative 21. Similarly, we're going to figure out, well, g of 10. So I put in 10 here instead of 0. This becomes 3 times 10 minus 7. 10 minus 7 is 3. So you have 3 times 3, which is 9. So here you have h of 0 and then h of 10. So on here, we put in 0 divided by 3 minus 7. So that's going to be 0 minus 7, which is negative 7. Plugging in 10, you would have 10 divided by 3 minus 7. So 10 divided by 3 is 3 1/3 minus 7. So if I do 3 1/3 or 3.3 repeating minus 7, that's going to be negative 3, and the 0.6 is 2/3, the 0.6 repeating. So that gives us negative 3 2/3. And then we can do k of x. So k of 0, if I plug that in, we do 0 minus 7 first, and then divide it by 3. So that's going to be negative 7 divided by negative 3, or just 7 over 3. So in looking at these, the greatest input, or the greatest output, if the input is 0, would be k. So this one is the greatest because 7/3 is the highest positive value. The rest are negative. And then moving over here, if we did k of 10, so we would go 10 minus 7 first, and then divide that by 3. And over here, sorry, this was supposed to be positive, so that was negative. But again, this is still the closest to 0, so that would be correct. So here, 10 minus 7 is 3 over 3, which is 1. So looking at which one would be greatest here, 23 is the highest value. So f of 10 is the greatest value. The input is 10.